Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. The 2017 Wimbledon champion, Roger Federer. As usual, English questions first. If we could keep to one question, I'll get to as many of you as we can.
Roger, many congratulations. Going back to the kid in 2001 that beat his idol Pete Sampras to this very day, lifting your 8th trophy. Could you ever imagine doing this, and what has been the main changes to be back on the stage?
Yeah, no, I didn't think I was going to be this successful after beating Pete here. I hope to have a chance maybe one day to be in a Wimbledon finals and have a chance to win the tournament. So winning 8 is not something you can ever aim for, in my opinion. And if you do, I don't know, you must have so much talent and parents and coaches that push you from an age of 3 on, who think that you're like a project. And I was not that kid. I was just a really normal guy growing up in Basel and hoping to make a career on the tennis tour. And I guess I dreamed, I believed, and and really hoped that maybe I could actually really do it, you know, to make it real. So I put in a lot of work, and it paid off. And the other question was,
the last changes you made, to be back on this stage after leaving the tournament here last year was, full of doubts if you could ever make it again.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it was all based on health. Just it wasn't about the game itself, how I should play when I come back to Wimbledon this year. It was all just put myself in a good physical state that I could compete with the best and play 7 times 5 sets. That was my goal, and I achieved that. So when I showed up here in Wimbledon, I was actually already very happy.
Roger, a few people alarmed because in your on-court interview you said, I hope to be back. I hope this is not my last match, etc. Is that what reassurances can you give, barring any more Bath-related incidents? That
those we never know what happens. You know?
But is your intention to be back next year, or do you get to the end of this year and see how the rest of it goes and decide, do I want to do another whole year on the tour? What's the process?
I mean, honestly, ever since I had the year I had last year, I do think probably like a year ahead of time, with my schedule and fitness schedule and tournaments I would like to play. So, I totally see myself playing here this time next year, but because it's far away and because of what happened last year, I just like to take the opportunity to thank the people in the very moment and just make them understand that, yes, I hope that I'm back. There's never a guarantee, especially not at 35, 36, but the goal is definitely to be here again next year to trying to defend.
2 over here, you said?
You've often spoken about not worrying about records. That's not what motivates you. Is there any...
I didn't quite say that like that, like I don't care. I said it was a great extra motivator. It was.
Is there something particularly special about getting to 8 at Wimbledon, where it was your first, and that no one has ever achieved that number for the men's championship?
Yes, it is very special. Wimbledon was always my favorite tournament, will always be my favorite tournament, and my heroes walked the grounds here and walked the courts here, and because of them, I think I became a better player too. So to mark history here at Wimbledon really means a lot to me, just because of all of that. Really, it's that simple. So funny enough, I didn't think of it that much throughout the day or throughout the trophy ceremony. I was more just so happy that I was able to win Wimbledon again, because it's been a long road. It's been an exciting road. It's been tough at times, but that's how it's supposed to be. So to be Wimbledon champion for an entire year now is something I can't wait, to savor and just enjoy. So it was super special, and number 8 obviously means a lot to me, because at that level to be part of Wimbledon history is truly amazing.
You said you're not looking too far ahead, but in terms of this season, with how things have went, do you perhaps now reassess your goals in a different way and tell yourself, okay, I want to, I don't know, whatever goals you had before, and maybe change them?
Not really. I was always going to play more the second, part of the season. I wasn't going to skip, entire swings. I wasn't going to skip Asia or the American tour or whatever it was. The European indoors. I was always going to play as much as I possibly could. So I think I'm going to stay true to that. Now we have to sit down tomorrow and decide what we're going to do with Canada or not. But most likely, I'll definitely play Cincinnati and the U.S. Open and Laver Cup Shanghai, and then we go back to the indoors. So that's the plan for now.
Many congratulations, first of all. So your former coach Stefan Edberg always says you could get the Grand Slam title again. So could you continue to? Did you continue to believe getting Grand Slam title, Wimbledon title again?
I truly believed, and for me it was also important that my team believed it as well. So it wasn't like just me trying to carry the team. I need the team to carry me most of the time, because that's the few percent that the team makes a difference. Maybe when you're doubting yourself, they reassure you. If you're feeling too good, they make sure you come back to planet Earth and put you in your place. So that's where I think I have a wonderful team, and I did ask them the question sincerely to everybody on my team if they thought I could win, majors again, or if I could win the biggest tournaments, or if I could win against the best on a regular basis. And basically the answer was always the same from them, that they thought if you're 100% healthy and you're well prepared and you're eager to play, then anything's possible. But if those components are not working, it's going to be extremely difficult. And that's how it also played out. So they were all right, and I believed them, and I had the same feeling. So that's why I think the break last year was really necessary to reassess and just get back to 100% physically.
Yes, sir.
Roger. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations. I want to ask you a question that might be a little difficult to answer for you. I'm sure you can talk about your opponents and how great they are, their abilities. Can you take a step back and tell us why you have been so great in your career? What are the physical abilities, the mental abilities you have that you feel allow you to achieve these great records?
I think at this stage it's really consistency, not shying away from the big stage. I've always been a big stage player. I've always felt like I played my best on the biggest courts. I struggled on court 18, to be honest, because of whatever reason it was. I just didn't feel I hit the ball as good there than on center court. So that was always going to be a good thing if I played the best players or in the bigger matches. That would serve me well. I felt like I dreamed pretty big as a kid. I believed that maybe things were possible that maybe others thought that were never going to be achievable. That helped me. And then I just think I trained really hard and really well and very clever over all the years. And I go back to my first coach to my coaches today, and the same thing with fitness all the way to today. I think every step of the way I had the right people, and then I had a wonderful, amazing people around me, and my wife today, and my parents, who always kept me very grounded and kept me the person I am still today. So and then in the game, I guess, yes, I was blessed with a lot of talent, but also had to work for it. Talent only gets you that far, really.
Thank you.
You always had very high standards, Roger, even when you were young, and you said when you were 15 that, gee, hey, you should be able to play a perfect match. And I guess, strictly speaking, that's not going to happen. But
not at 15, anyway.
Yeah.
Also not at 35. So.
Okay. But just talk about what's been happening this year and in this tournament, where, of course, you didn't lose a set. There's a level of excellence that's just incredible, especially for where you are in your life. Could you talk about that? Does it surprise you?
Yeah, I'm honestly, incredibly surprised how well this year is going, and how well I'm feeling as well, and how things are turning out to be on the courts. How I'm managing the tougher situations, where my level of play is on a daily basis. I am surprised that it's this good. I knew I could do great again maybe one day, but not at this level. So, and I guess you would have laughed too if I had told you like I was going to win 2 slams this year. People wouldn't believe me if I said that. And I also didn't believe that I was going to win 2 this year. So, but yeah, it's incredible. I don't know how much longer it's going to last. I have no idea. But I just got to always remind myself, that health comes first at this point. And then if I do that, maybe things are actually possible I didn't think were.
Roger, you turn 36 in a couple of weeks' time, as you said.
Reminder again.
Sorry about that.
It's all good, no problem.
As you said, health permitting. Now, health permitting, is it possible that you could still be playing here when you're 40?
I mean, you would think so, that if health permitting and like you say, everything's okay and you could take 300 days off beforehand and just prepare for Wimbledon and put yourself in a freeze box, and then you come out and you train a bit and you're not going to be injured, Yeah, playing Wimbledon, winning Wimbledon are just 2 separate things as well. Don't forget that. So, and the problem with why not playing, you take a chance on your health too in some ways, because matches actually are the real, the measuring stick. Because you can practice as good as you want, you can feel as good as you want in practice, but when the pressure comes of the matches and the nerves of the stomach, how you feel it, or everything that happens today, like before the match, you can recreate that in a practice, and you don't know how your body's going to react to that kind of pressure when you're moving and you're not free and you're tense, and that's why you need to always have the right balance between practice and matches and vacation. So at some stage you have to play a minimum of matches, otherwise you're just not going to be successful anymore, and that's going to be the interesting thing moving forward, how I'm going to be able to manage that.
Last 2 English questions back there, and then
just on today's match, Roger, was it a slightly strange atmosphere at times because of the struggles on Marin's part, and did you change your play or your mentality because of what was happening on his side of the net?
Well, I didn't really feel, I couldn't tell you right now, and I don't know what his problem was really, to be honest, so I couldn't tell you if he was struggling moving to his forehand or to his backhand, or because he was serving big, and he was serving volleying, so I guess movement for that reason wasn't the biggest problem. Maybe I thought when he called the doctor first, I thought he was maybe dizzy or something, so because I couldn't tell what it was, it actually made things easier. If I saw him, limping around, or if I saw him pull up hurt in some place, I would have started to think like, okay, maybe I'll throw him the drop shot to really check him out. But I just and then one more, because that's what you do. You need to hurt him, where it hurts already. So, but so because I didn't know and I couldn't tell, I just said, well, I'll focus on your game, I'll focus on your match, and keep playing. And the good thing is I was already in the lead. But yes, the atmosphere is, of course, it's not a 5-set thriller. So people want to see a tighter match. I totally get it. But, I've had those. So I'm happy it was different today.
Okay, last English question, thank you.
Roger, what keeps you going, and would you advise Andy Murray to follow your route in wrestling a bit more?
Well, he's younger, and he has a different practice regime than I have, I'm sure. Doesn't mean he's practicing more or less. It's just different, He's had a different upbringing. Everything's different, and it doesn't mean because I took a break that everybody should take that break. To be quite honest, some players just need to play, and they need to play every other day. Otherwise, they feel like they completely lose touch with the racket and the ball, and the body goes all funny on them. So I think it's only himself with his team who knows best. I can't give any advice in this regard. But for me, a break really worked wonders now. I'm still surprised it did as much as it did, and I had to take some tough decisions along the way, like pulling out of the French and pulling out of the entire clay court season. This is not now in hindsight looks so simple, you just do that to win Wimbledon, but it's not. So I'm sure he's going to take the right decisions moving forward, and he's still got a lot of years left, to play if he's in the mood for, and we'll see a great Andy Murray moving forward.
Sorry, that's the end of our. Sorry.
What keeps me going?
Okay.
I don't know. I love to play, and wonderful team. My wife's totally fine with me still playing. She's my #1 supporter. She's amazing, and yeah, I love playing the big stages still, and I don't mind the practice, I don't mind the travel. So, and because I'm playing a little less, actually I get more time in return, and I feel like I'm working part-time these days almost sometimes, so which is a great feeling.
Okay, let's take